When my wife left me, people assumed I must have collapsed, that I begged, that I shouted, that I tried to win her back the way men do in movies. Grand gestures, emotional speeches, promises to change. None of that happened. What actually happened was quieter and far more permanent. My name is Daniel, and at the time this story began, I was 40 years old. Old enough to recognize patterns, young enough to still believe loyalty meant something, if you earned it every day. I wasn't a flashy husband. I didn't sweep Sarah off her feet with surprises every week. I was consistent. I paid the bills early. I fixed what broke. I planned for the future. I remembered appointments, birthdays, deadlines. I kept our life running smoothly, not because anyone asked me to, but because that's how I was built. For a long time, that seemed to be enough. Sarah used to tell me she felt safe with me, that I made the world feel manageable. And I believed that was love. Our marriage didn't implode. It slowly thinned. Conversations became shorter. Eye contact faded. Laughter softened into polite smiles. She started living parallel to me instead of with me. When I asked how her day was, the answers became vague. When I talked about mine, she seemed elsewhere. I noticed the changes months before the truth arrived. Later nights, longer workouts, new clothes, her phone never leaving her hand, and always angled away. Still, I said nothing, not because I was afraid, but because I trusted her, and because I didn't want to become a man who interrogated shadows. The gym was where it began, or at least where she said it began. A man she mentioned casually, too casually. His name slipped into conversations without context, like he was already part of her world. I didn't confront her. I observed. The night everything ended was ordinary. Dinner, dishes dry on the rack. Soft kitchen light. No tension you could point to, just a heavy silence that had been building for weeks. I asked her directly if there was someone else. She didn't hesitate. She said yes. No tears. No excuses. No apology. Just honesty delivered like a completed task. And I felt something I didn't expect. Relief. The waiting was over. The doubt was gone. The constant quiet tension finally had a name. I told her I wouldn't live in a marriage where I was an option, that I wouldn't stay while she explored another life with someone else. She didn't argue. She packed calmly, efficiently, like someone following a plan already decided. When she walked out, she said she'd come back later for the rest of her things. She never did. That night, I didn't drink. I didn't break anything. I didn't spiral. I sat down and began separating our lives. Accounts, passwords, bills, subscriptions. I made a spreadsheet and listed everything. Not because I was angry, but because clarity keeps pain from spreading. Sarah moved in with him almost immediately. Friends tried to soften the news, as if I hadn't already known, as if betrayal needs translation. 3 weeks later, my sister called. There had been a car accident. Sarah was badly injured. The man she left me for was dead. I stared at my phone for a long time after the call ended. I searched myself for relief, for satisfaction, for some sense of balance being restored. None of it came. Tragedy doesn't heal betrayal. It only reveals it more clearly. Sarah was hospitalized. Broken bones. Long recovery. Her parents rushed in. And then, inevitably, she asked about me. I agreed to meet her once. In public. Neutral ground. She arrived looking smaller. Fragile. The confidence she'd left with was gone. Her voice shook when she spoke. She said she wanted to come home. Not because she loved me. Not because she realized what she'd lost. Because she was hurt. Alone. And needed care. I listened. Then I told her there was no home for us anymore. She looked genuinely shocked, as if my role in her life was permanent no matter what choices she made. She reminded me that I was her husband. I reminded her that I was her husband when she left. I told her I wouldn't be the place she landed simply because her other choice disappeared. She cried. She accused me of cruelty, of abandoning her at her lowest point. And I understood how it looked. But boundaries aren't punishment. They're survival. I arranged a formal separation meeting. Witnesses, documents, No emotional ambiguity. I returned her belongings, divided shared expenses fairly. Then I presented records, money taken from joint accounts to fund her affair. Trips, gifts, hotels, all documented. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I simply asked for fairness. That moment hurt her more than anger ever could. I removed myself as her emergency contact, gave her time to transition, but made it clear my role in her life had ended. When she asked if I was sure, I told her yes. Forgiveness doesn't require self-sacrifice. After that, my life grew quiet, not empty, intentional. I didn't rush to replace what I lost. I didn't chase distraction. I learned to sit with myself, to rebuild without noise, without performance. I heard she moved back with her parents, that she was recovering slowly. I didn't check in. Some chapters close without reconciliation, and that's okay. I realized something important through all of this. Being someone's safety net is a choice, not a debt, and I had already paid everything I owed to that marriage. Now my life is calm, structured, honest, and for the first time in a long while, it's mine.